Hello humans, this is Retro Rocket Man back again with another video. This is a missions fleet Razor Crest from the TV series The Mandalorian. It's a little bit stumpy in proportions, but it is basically a toy marketed at kids. So we'll do a little bit of a toy review first up. It's got everything that opens and closes, including a canopy. You can clearly see the cockpit with some nice detail in there. Has these firing missiles. It has everything that opens and closes, with a couple of doors on the side where you can clearly see inside. You can see the gun rack in there and some stickers that depict other features inside the ship, and a rear opening door as well, so they haven't really left too much out. Also, you pop this button and the wings come off and it reveals a bird's eye view of inside the ship. Just these little play features that makes it easy for the kiddies to play with their action figures. So what I want to do today is paint this bad boy, make him look a bit more like he appears in the show. Even though it's got some paint details on it, I still want to add my own slant to it. And I'm going to have to start off by plugging up these screw holes. I'm going to start by using a product called Milliput. It's a two-part epoxy filler. It requires you to knead together two equal parts of the putty for approximately 5 minutes until it's a nice, uniform, even consistency and is sticky to the touch. I'm just going to plug the holes and smooth them out, so I don't have too much sanding to do later on, because when it's dry, it's completely sandable. Got a few screw holes around it. Also, these holes in the top that hold the playable feature, which is a firing gun mechanism. That's not in the show, so I'm going to plug those up and disguise them as best I can. The good thing about Milliput, it's water soluble, so you can smooth it out just with plain water. Again, it reduces any sanding you might need to do down the track. Can't help but fill in some of the panel lines, so now I'm just cleaning those out again, making sure that they're still going to be visible after I've sprayed it. Once it's dry, I'm able to give it a finishing touch with some fine sandpaper, just to disguise the fact that there were once holes there. Frog tape. This is a masking tape. Had a little bit of trouble with this, but eventually got there. Obviously we want to mask off the clear window areas so it doesn't get any paint on it when I spray it. American mustard. This is another technique I like to use for masking, especially for difficult areas like the decals on the side of the ship. It'd be almost impossible to mask this off with tape, so I'm using a brush-on option. Of course, you could spend a lot of money and buy liquid latex and it would do the same job. This is a cheaper technique, so I'm just liberally applying the hot dog sauce to the decal areas, and I'm going to let that dry before I spray it. Just masking out the engine intakes and exhaust areas because I don't want to get any paint in those areas either. Time to spray. So I'm outside with it, and I'm using Fiddly Bits aluminium finish. It's a gloss finish, just the usual approach, just coating the entire ship with a coat of aluminium, because the ship in the television show appears to be like a chrome finish, and this is a nice facsimile of that. Removing the masking tape when the chrome is dried. And that's lovely. No paint got in there. More in there. The frog tape was okay to a degree, but there were some areas where I had some paint bleed, but it was quite minimal, so it was okay. I did make the cannon extensions from just a piece of plastic that I found in my Greeblies box, and I just cut it to size and shoved it in there and painted it, and it looks the goods. Now I'm going back over the dried hot dog or mustard sauce just with a damp sponge, keeping it wet, and it just removes the excess sauce to reveal the decal underneath, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. Paint comes off with it. Just want to be careful that we don't use anything too coarse, because it might destroy the surrounding paintwork. We don't want that to happen, do we? Now my old favourite, the liquid shoe polish. I'm using black with a largish brush because I've got a lot of area to cover. I'm just applying it liberally, and I'm working on one section at a time. And while it's still wet, I'm wiping it off with a rag in a sweeping motion from front to back to try to emulate weathering, the effects of what atmospheres in planets would have on the ship. Straight away, all those panel lines, they just pop out at you. It's great. It's a very gratifying feeling to see how much difference this just makes. Obviously the ship is not brand new, it has been beaten up and seen a bit of action, and that's what we're trying to copy here. They have included so much detail for what's considered to be a kid's toy. It's very impressive. See here the difference between the un-shoe polish side and the shoe polish side. Just looks so much better. Just work it all in and the shoe polish takes care of itself, and then wipe away the excess. The result is quite dramatic. going back in with a slightly dried brush and shoe polish, just making carbon scoring on the engine exhausts. And once all that's dried, I just want to clean it up a little bit more, just with a damp sponge, just to take off a bit more of the excess that I might not like. I'm using a metallic eyeshadow on the exhaust areas, just to try to emulate sort of carbon scoring or afterburner marks. And now I'm using a bit of yellow just to try to highlight the exhaust flame areas. After all, it's just flat plastic, so I just want to give it a bit more highlights. And there's little red lights on the front, so I'm just giving those a couple of dots of red acrylic just to finish it off. So there you have it, humans. This is my repaint of the Mission Fleet Razor Crest. I think it's come up really nice compared to what it looked like before, and it would sit proud of place on anybody's shelf as a display piece. This is Retro Rocket Man. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Over and out.